Hi, I'm Jess, part-time hobbit, and I'm here to talk to you about Tolkien.
Hi, I'm Dylan, and you might know me from such hits as a video that will be coming out in 2 weeks. Don't talk about the hair.
So today we are continuing our series of obscure adaptations. We are going to be watching the 1971 Sagan Om Ringen, which is the Swedish version. It is also the first live-action adaptation of The Lord of the Rings ever made.
Is it?
Yeah.
That I did not realize.
The only one before this was animated. This film was inspired by an album, which was called Music Inspired by The Lord of the Rings, which was made by Bo Hansen. Apparently it was a progressive rock album.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully we'll be getting to hear some of that. I know that this is definitely very stylized. It's also short. It's only, I think, 28 minutes.
Do you know how long the record was?
The album was 38 minutes.
Okay. The expectation that I'm going into this with is like, kind of like a Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Where it follows along the story of Wall-E.
Good
If
one.
this video gets 1 million likes, we will watch Wall-E along with The Wall, and then we will watch The Dark Side of the Moon with Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Anyway, I'm going into this kind of with a Pink Floyd's The Wall perspective.
Okay, sure.
Because they released that album, and then a few years later, they made a movie that is basically just a movie-long music video. And so what I'm kind of getting, and I'm hoping to get out of this, is that it is going to be the album played over scenes that the album is depicting.
Thank you to whoever put this thing on YouTube, along with a translation. I believe Pengy, who did the subtitles. I admire you. Thanks, man. I like the painted backdrop. I always love me a painted backdrop. Something about these adaptations that I like is that they almost always contain narration, and like there's a little bit of narration in Peter Jackson's, but it's very much of the time to have the overarching narrator that explains the plot to you.
Also, very much of the budget.
Oh, such a cute little Shire. Whoa!
Wow. Oh,
All right.
brother.
I knew that it was gonna be live actors on a painted background. I didn't want to tell you because I thought it would be fun, but I like it a lot. What?
In the
I like the idea that he just, I'm out. Whoa!
Whoa. It's a big ring.
That is a bracelet. Interesting art. I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh,
Wowza.
it's gone! Just like Bilbo!
Just like Bilbo, it disappeared.
The integration of the art is interesting.
I like it. It's cool art.
Interesting choice to make the ring so literally big. I mean, I guess if
Yeah.
it's gonna be an important plot point, but also isn't the point of Lord of the Rings kind of that it's such a small thing, having so much impact?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's still small relatively.
The fact that neither of them are talking, despite the fact that the narrator is saying what they're saying, is a little odd.
A lot of movies and a lot of TV shows, especially in the 70s and 80s, would just be completely dubbed in terms of dialogue, because you wouldn't need to worry about sound on set, and it was cheaper. You just do the shots, and then you go back to the studio and you go, let's whip out all these lines of dialogue in one go. And so there are a lot of TV shows that do that. Specifically a lot of Italian movies of the 70s.
Oh! He's fitted out. He looks like a pumpkin.
Dudes rule.
Whoa! Those feet!
Those very thin
Why did they
legs.
make, I guess if you make the legs skinny, the foot looks bigger.
I guess I am also wondering if maybe that was not intentional and it was just a result of the effects.
Nah, all of this feels very intentional. Look at the way they move. It's like that scene in Community where they're in the Dreamatorium and they have to run in place so
Yeah.
that they don't run into the wall.
Yeah.
That's what that was. I like it. It's not quite perfectly done, but it's a cool effect.
But it's a cool effect.
Very storybook, which I like. That horse just pulled a Bilbo.
I'm going home.
Is this Celtic women?
There's about
But
10
also,
people who will laugh at
no,
that.
but my audience
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
knows Celtic women. I mean, not like women that are Celtic, I mean the like group Celtic This bit isn't working anymore. This isn't gonna make the cut. It's a pretty song, but it's also going on a long time considering how much runtime the full show has. It's fun art. It almost looks like Tolkien art. As much as I love Tolkien's art, he wasn't like the world's best artist or anything.
No, it's very minimalist, kind of.
It's very stylized.
Yeah, it's not minimalist. I just want to say Tolkien's art is not minimalist.
Yeah, that
it's
was
just
the wrong word.
simple.
Oh. Yeah. Tommy B!
Oh yeah, they gave him a banger.
And no visuals.
Not quite, no.
I mean, it's a banger song. That's just how people dressed back then.
I love a good flute in a soundtrack.
The music is fun. Oh, Strider.
This guy he looks like a painter. He looks like an artist.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I like his little hat.
Yeah.
I like that they all have weird little hats.
I like that they're all a little weird.
They're skinny legs. They look like Mickey Mouse.
Hey, what's up? Yo, dap me up.
Let me check out that wound. He really just stuck his fingers right in there. He said, let me check out your wound. Oh. That's part 1 done. Sure.
Sagan Om Ringen. I'm so sorry to the Swedish language. That was horrific.
That was brutal, man. Every time I see like a real backdrop instead of like a painted one,
It weirds me out a little.
it weirds me out because I'm like, why is it not bright green? Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, snuggled. Dudes.
Yeah, they're definitely drinking.
Yeah.
Looks like they're on a train.
It does look like they're on the train.
It looks like Elrond is wearing one of those like trauma blankets. Alternatively, very specifically, the reflective insulation packing material that they use. I'm gonna put some right here so you can see. Am I right, Dylan?
I saw it. It was right in front of my eyes. That's it.
Big ring.
Every time I see it, it makes me laugh.
You've always loved a big ring.
I'm a big ring guy.
He likes a big ring. I showed him the one that they made for the Lord of the Rings movies, for Peter Jackson's movies, where they have the gigantic ring that they made for close-ups. He's a big fan of that.
Big fan.
Gandalf looks young. He's kind of hot. Had to
then-
use stock footage.
Can we go back? Oh, I got him. Ladies and gentlemen, that rules.
In all of these obscure adaptations, there is one shot that makes me want to cry.
Whoa!
Yep.
Almost always specifically relating to Gandalf. This is a real treat.
I love how it is just an actual frame of this shot.
Yeah.
His little foot!
Those shoes rock.
Can you get a pair of those? Could you
For
wear
myself,
those?
yeah.
Would you wear them with tights?
Yes.
Okay. Look at it go. Look at it go. Woo. Wait, they didn't include Boromir.
Det bestämdes att 9 personer skulle ge sig av till eldsprutande berget i Mordor. De som skulle följa med Frodo blev
Sam, Merry, Pippin, Gandalf. Also
Och
Frodo.
alverna valde Legolas.
Like,
Och Gimli gick för dvärgar. Och Vidstig för människorna.
that's only 8! Strider looks so sad.
He's just going through a lot right now.
I wonder if there was something there.
Oh, no,
Gandalf's
it's
got
stairs.
those tights.
They're stairs.
Look at
I see.
Gandalf's
He
fit.
is rolling.
Look at that fit.
Yeah.
He's just wearing a t-shirt, tights, and his little shoes.
He kind of looks like he's LARPing. I'm wondering, is it going to cut to them at Mount Doom, or is it just over? Nope, it's just over.
All right, well, soundtrack-wise, that may have been my favorite soundtrack, although to be honest, I've liked all of the soundtracks in these weird adaptations.
I am on the fence about the soundtrack.
Okay.
Partially because A, I expected more, and B, I think it's the Russian one that opens with like a really good track.
The Soviet one has a very good opening track.
Yeah, and the music was never really the star. I expected more.
Okay.
In a lot of ways, and it was a little disappointing. It felt like we never got the chance to get much out of it. It's so short
Yes.
that there's no, with the exception of maybe 1 to 6 fantastic frames, there's no moment where I go, Oh, I'm having a great time with this.
I think it's not so much that I enjoyed this one more, but that I was in less pain than the other ones.
You didn't have to endure any of this.
No, none of it was like an endurance test, so maybe that helped. Overall, I think this was probably one of the least ambitious ones, because it was so short. The only real life full shots you're gonna get, live action full shots, are gonna be just nature footage.
I think that's fair. It does give me a kind of like children's TV vibe. You'd turn on PBS or something and it's like, ooh, an abridged telling of the Lord of the Rings. This one, out of all the adaptations we've seen, has told the least amount of story.
Yes, this definitely wins that. This one stands out because I believe it was the only live action adaptation made while Tolkien was still alive. For that, I think it is telling when Tolkien talks so much about how he didn't think that a film adaptation of his books would work, considering that this was the kind of thing that was being attempted to be made with his works. As an author, I don't think I would find this adaptation pleasing.
No, neither pleasing nor flattering. It might be the most boring of the ones we've watched. I really appreciate the ones that shoot for the moon and just completely miss.
Yeah, but the Finnish one made me cry. I was crying because I wanted to stop watching it so badly.
But were you bored?
Yes! And we got mustachioed, pouty Aragorn here for some reason.
Yeah, but...
And no Boromir! They just said Frodo went out with 9 people! Here's all 8 of them!
Yeah, but remember Boromir in the Finnish one? Does he have a samurai sword?
That's a katana.
Yeah.
What is the choice that was made?
I just didn't get the chance to enjoy it.
If someone sat me down and said, Jess, what obscure Lord of the Rings adaptation should I watch right now? I may say this one.
Final thoughts for me is that it was disappointing. The 5 frames of Gandalf being carried by an eagle, great moment, but there was not enough time for me to start enjoying it.
And I'm gonna have to disagree. This may have been my favorite. We have one more fairly obscure adaptation to watch, if I can find it. It is an animated adaptation of The Hobbit, earliest adaptation that we're gonna watch. So if I can find that, that will be the next one that we watch before we get into Bakshi and Rankin and Bass, etc., etc. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see that. That'll be coming in a little while because I have other videos queued up. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Be sure to like this video if you had a good time, and I will link the full videos of this so that you can watch it and you can let me know if I'm right about it being enjoyable so that I can finally tell Dylan that he's wrong and prove that Last week, I announced a holiday card giveaway, so right here, I'm going to insert the footage of me drawing those 3 names. Alrighty, so here we have a seasonally appropriate sparkly hat. Our first name is Andy F. Congratulations, Andy. And then our second one is Michael L. Okay, and then our last name is Iris. Okay, so that is Andy, Michael, and Iris. Congrats, guys.
Hey, shout out to
Andy F.
and
Michael L.
and also
Iris.
I will be reaching out to those 3 people with an email, and if you don't respond within 48 hours, I will be drawing another name. So make sure you're checking your emails if you put your name in the hat. Thanks again to Dylan for putting up with obscure Lord of the Rings adaptations.
it's an honor. Is it a pleasure?
Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope that you all have a very happy, hobbity day.